Hey beauties, and welcome back to my channel. I am today going to be doing an updated foundation routine, and I know I kind of just did one a couple months ago, but I kind of was just playing around one day and was trying out a new concealer and then realized that the concealer with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, which I've kind of been on the fence about if you guys have watched any previous videos, it just makes the perfect, like, I love it, absolutely love it. It's like the most flawless my skin has ever looked. It felt beautiful. It lasted all day. I literally wore the makeup for over 15 hours because we were going to Charlotte. We drove, we went to the pool tournament, everything else. So we're going to get into that part of it. But super excited about this, and of course it'll probably be like a short and sweet one because it's just foundation, but I really just wanted to show this, especially for anyone that has any hyperpigmentation, like acne scarring or anything like that, acneic skin. I really think that this is something that would work beautifully for other people, and keep in mind too that I have dry skin. So a lot of the steps that I take, obviously if you have oily skin you probably do not need to take these steps. But I really try to keep my skin as hydrated as I possibly can keep it, and so let's jump right in. I'm excited. So first of all, I always hydrate prior to doing any makeup application. And I always start with a toner. This is just a regular basic toner from Avon, and I put it into a regular spray bottle. So I always will use toner prior to any makeup application and also any skincare application. And then you guys know I love my little Allure pamphlets. These are what I use to fan myself. So I'm just gonna try it just a little bit because you can see obviously it sprays really well. But I love toner. I feel like it really calms the skin and stuff like that as well. And then I'm gonna go in with a primer. And today I think I'm just gonna use this little Yensa one that I actually was not going to keep out of, I think it was Ipsy or Allure. But I decided to go ahead and keep it because it actually feels really nice on the skin. And that is what it looks like. And I always do my little 5 dots, whether I'm doing, you know, foundation, whatever it is. And then I really am going to kind of push the product into my nose. That's where I get really, really dry at all the time. And then right here above my brows as well. Focus, camera, focus. But this feels really nice. It feels thick, but not like too thick. And it has a slight little bit of tackiness to it. It's not like super, super sticky. I don't like a primer that feels too sticky on the skin. And then I don't know if it's like the combination of this primer mixed with the products that I used that day, but I just was like blown away. Even my husband was like, babe, your skin looks really freaking amazing right now. So I have my primer on. Next I'm going to go into the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer, and my shade is 101, and that is what that looks like. And I actually was trying to film a first impressions video, and then I ended up deleting it. So this isn't my first impressions video. The container looks like this, or the applicator, excuse me, and it's kind of messy. I just take it straight to the skin. Obviously, if you're using this for a client, you absolutely would not want to do that. But for me, obviously, I'm not using this on anyone else, so I'm using it for me. So my problem areas obviously are right through here. I obviously am starting to get some age spots. I have a lot of broken capillaries and redness, and then of course some acne scarring from when I was a teenager. So I like to push up just a little bit. Just this much, you guys. It goes a little tiny bit, it goes a very long way. And I am going to take that little tiny bit and just put right here and right here on this side. And this little bit, you guys, is insanely pigmented, and it covers so beautifully. I did go lighter in this so that I can obviously use it underneath the eyes and stuff like that as well. But just anywhere where I have all the redness and stuff at, and you can already start to see that it's starting to blur that out. But just anywhere where I start to have redness and discoloration, around my nose where I have broken capillaries and things like that, I don't bring this all the way up to the under eye because I conceal after the fact as far as the under eye is concerned. And I normally wouldn't use concealer. I'm not a huge concealer fan, I'm not gonna lie. But definitely in the wintertime I feel like I can get away with wearing a little bit more coverage, more layers of makeup, if you will. So I really like this. I really like that I was kind of playing around that day. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more. I don't feel like I added quite enough. But again, a little goes a long way. This is very, very full coverage. It's very, very blendable. It has no strong smell to it whatsoever. But, you know, and again, I don't normally use concealer, especially underneath my makeup, but I just absolutely love how this looked the other day when I used it. So I'm not really putting product under the eye, I'm just kind of smoothing under the eye with just whatever little bit is left on here. So you can see, aside from looking very white, that it blurred everything. Like everything is just kind of away, and this is all like my area of my face that I'm really self-conscious about sometimes. Like my nose kind of stays clear, I don't really get blackheads or anything like that, and then my forehead usually is pretty nice, except for my little friend that decided to come take a visit and say hello. And then I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way. I am in the shade Warm Nude, and I have used this multiple times, probably 5 now. Because I always, before I give kind of my first impressions on especially a foundation, I will wear it 2 to 3 times first, you know, try it by itself, try it with different primers, because obviously you guys, first of all, we all have different skin. Like I have very, very dry, you know, discolored skin and stuff like that. Maybe somebody else has super oily skin, so they obviously not going to do the exact same thing that I do. Also, I feel like different products work well or not well with other products. So the first few times that I used this, obviously I just used it over our standard primer. I normally use the Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer and then the Urban Decay Self-Adjusting. Those two are my holy grail primers. I did use this with both of them, and I still did not feel like it was all the rage, y'all. And it was, you know, it's been all over YouTube and everybody raves about it, and oh my god, this foundation is the best. No, it's not. But now, doing it this way, and I'm going to do just 2 pumps on my hand, doing it this way, I have found that the coverage is absolutely stunning on top of this. The color combination with this together feels impeccable. The way that this kind of dries down a little bit more matte, and then this still has a little bit of kind of like, you know, I guess a sheen to it. It's not obviously meant to be like a dewy foundation, but it doesn't dry down super matte. So I think the combination of the two is perfection, you guys. So I'm going to start obviously with the bulk of the product on this side of my face and kind of work my way out, because again, you know, this is my problem area. And I always do my foundation with a brush and then do a stippling motion. And then to kind of buff out the edges, I will then use, you know, a circular or buffing motion. But otherwise, if you definitely stamp or kind of stipple your foundation into your skin, as opposed to dragging it across, you are definitely going to get more full coverage. And this just, I don't know, you guys, like even the way that it blends out having this concealer underneath it, the little slight bit of luminosity that I get from it. Focus camera. I'm so sorry, guys. The camera hates me apparently. Sorry, guys. But just the little slight, do you see, like I just have a little bit of luminosity from this. Both of these together, you guys, I'm like blown away. And then it lasted all day long. I mean, like I said, more than 15 hours. I had this on all day. So again, I'm going to kind of stipple and place the bulk of the product in the areas that I absolutely know I need extra coverage at. And do nice stippling motions. And I really do get self-conscious sometimes because of my acne scars, or just, you know, if I'm having a little bit of a breakout or something like that. And it's just, I love this. I absolutely love it. Like, I literally that day, and I didn't even wear any other makeup other than I put a little bit of Natasha Denona, some like bronze in my, like the entire lid, and then some mascara. I didn't wear lipstick, I didn't wear anything. And I felt so beautiful. So the last little bit that's on my hand, up here, I don't really do stippling motions. Again, my skin is really nice and clear right here. And then I'm also going to bring it over my lids. Make sure we bring it up into the hairline, obviously around the ears, and then I even go in behind. That way, you know, when you turn to the left or to the right, you know, everything still matches everything. And then now that it's placed, again, I'm just going to go through the edges. I also like to pull any extra product from my nasolabial folds. It's just not cute. I don't like getting product in there, and then it can kind of tend to crack and build up and not look so good on me. And then again into the hairline. I don't actually use eyelid primers, so I really feel like doing this, you know, doing the foundation, and then I always go back over it with my concealer and kind of set it. I mean, to me, honestly, it works just as well as getting a primer, and I'm not going to go buy a primer. I'm just cheap like that. So now everything is buffed out, And I really am gonna get close. Like, you guys see my skin all the time because I rarely ever do actual full makeup or makeup on here. But I love this, you guys. I mean, you don't see shit. Like, you do not see anything at all. My skin still feels like skin though. It still feels really breathable. It does not feel heavy or cakey at all. And then the combination of having, you know, the lighter concealer underneath and then a little bit warmer of a foundation, I just feel like it works stunningly. So next, also, it was another item that I tried. I did not try this underneath my under eye as far as like to conceal or to brighten. And I don't want to do it today because this is how I've been doing my foundation for the last week or so. And I just am obsessed, completely obsessed. So I'm also going to try, this was also in my first impressions video, which really sucks, the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is Fair 08. And I am pretty obsessed with this. It is definitely not ever going to replace my Tarte Shape Tape. Like, let's just be real. She's one of a kind. She ain't going nowhere, okay? And then I'm going to go just a dry Morphe sponge. I'm going to turn this extra light on down here. I use a dry sponge or slightly dampened sponge only because sometimes I feel like if the sponge is too wet, you guys, it kind of pushes the product around and picks up the foundation underneath. And again, I'm going over the lid too, just to kind of give myself a base for my eyeshadow. And just pressing it in very, very softly and then kind of bringing it out of here. So then you can see that it really illuminates the under eye. This works beautifully in conjunction with the foundation and with the other concealer underneath. You guys, I'm obsessed. I'm seriously obsessed. And not just, you know, I'm not self-conscious as far as, like, let's just be real. Most of the time when I go to the store, I don't wear any makeup. You know, most of the time, when I'm just chilling, I'm not wearing makeup. I will put on makeup, you know, when I'm doing a Facebook Live or when, you know, hubby and I are actually going out. Excuse me, I have a little eye crusty thing going on right here. I love this combination. The ColourPop concealer works beautifully. As you can see, there's no cracking or anything like that. I love this, you guys. I love how my skin looks. I love how it feels. I will obviously do a check-in later. I didn't know what time it is because I'm recording on the phone. I think it's around 12-ish, noon-ish. But I'm gonna go to the store. I have some pies and stuff to bake. So yeah, I'm super excited to like show you guys in a little while how this looks. I am now gonna go into my NYX HD finishing powder. I don't use loose powders. I'm allergic to them. I've never been able to use them. Every time I do try to use them, they literally just kind of, they dust up everywhere, I guess, kind of powder up. I don't know how to explain it, but just the dust itself makes my eyes water, makes my eyes itch, makes me sneeze, makes me cough. I just can't do them. So I'm just gonna go back into the same dry Morphe sponge, and I'm gonna load it up pretty heavily, and then look up so that the eye is nice and relaxed, and so we don't get any creasing or anything like that. And I'm gently gonna just walk this across again. And I don't bake, obviously. I have very dry skin, so I do not bake at all. So I'm gonna place that down and literally wipe it away with just a loose, fluffy face brush, just like this. I forgot to put it over my eyelids. Normally I will put it over my eyelids. And then I'm gonna dust that away. So I want you guys to see I still have a little bit of luminosity to the skin, which I love. I don't obviously like a super matte foundation, but everything is covered and there's no cracking, no creasing, no nothing. Like, I absolutely love this, and I love it. I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna spray some Mario Badescu. I have the one that has the lavender in it, and I always will spray my face after my foundation and stuff, do my contour and stuff like that. I go to my eyes and then go back to my face. And then I spray my face again before I put like my highlight and stuff on. So I literally will spray my face, you guys, 3 to 4 times during my makeup process. And I would say that normally if you have oily skin, you probably don't have to do this, but let's just be real. Sometimes we go a little crazy, okay? And I take this sponge, not this part that has the powder on it, but the clean part, and I'm just gonna press everything into the face. Especially if you have a sprayer that maybe sprays a little bit too harshly when you spray your face, and it kind of is like those little bubbles. I don't like that. So I'm just gonna take the sponge and just set everything. And then again, like I said, I would go in with my contour and then go in and do my eyes, go back and do my blush and stuff, and then I would spray it again. I would do my highlight and then mascara and things like that, and then sometimes I would even set again. So I hope you guys can like see the difference. Like, go back to the beginning of the video and look at my skin. And I'm not downing my skin, and like I said, I'm not self-conscious about it, like, you know, on an everyday basis, but just some days I appreciate having like a nice full coverage or a more like, you know, let's cover everything type of deal to make me feel just a little bit, you know, I'm feeling pretty damn good right now, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, and I will do a check-in in a few hours and let you guys know how this is looking, but legit, you guys, try this. And again, I have not used concealer underneath foundation in years and years and years, maybe not even ever. I would maybe spot conceal when I was younger and then put my foundation on. But just, I love how this works in conjunction, all three of the products together, you know, the ColourPop and the BH Cosmetics, you know, concealers together, and then the Too Faced Born This Way. I literally was going to get rid of this foundation because it just was not performing in the way that I would like. Like, my Avon one is $9 and works better than this, I felt, you know, up until this point. So I hope that that helps, and I hope that you guys try it. Like, if you do try it, let me know how you like doing this kind of method. I think especially, like I said, for anyone that has, you know, acne scars, acneic skin, a lot of redness or anything like that, I truly think that it's going to help you, and it's really going to make you feel just a little bit more at ease. You know, I mean, I feel good and I feel beautiful always, but then obviously there are days, y'all, that I'm just like, oh, I'm not feeling this. Like, I need to cover my face and just, you know, do a full face of makeup, and it just kind of cheers me up. Obviously, doing makeup also helps with my depression and my anxiety. I feel like just kind of coming in here in my own little zen space by myself. You know, I normally am jamming, you know, music in the background, but I just can sit here and I just zone out, and it just takes the weight of the world away from me, and there for me is no greater feeling. Like, that's, you know, a lot of people think that people wear makeup because they're self-conscious or because they feel ugly or they don't feel beautiful without it, and that is absolutely not the case with 99% of the people that I know. For a lot of us, it's about the artistry of it, and for a lot of us, it's about just kind of having something for yourself, you know, like taking a hot bath for an hour. But I'm rambling now. But I definitely feel so absolutely beautiful, you know, and completely flawless with the way that this application is. And like I said, I've done this ever since we went to pool that day, and I will not do my foundation any differently than this, unless I obviously wear my Jouer foundation by itself, because that works beautifully too. But the Jouer on me does get into my fine lines and stuff like that, so I really have to set it. But Jouer has bomb coverage too. So I hope that y'all like this. I really appreciate you loving and supporting me and my little itty bitty baby channel. And I'm really trying to kind of bring more content and really, really be strict about, you know, posting on Sundays and Wednesdays. I'm working through, obviously, you know, depression and stuff like that. It really sucks. And some days I just don't want to mess with anything. So I'm really trying to kind of bounce back from that, especially that, you know, that the holidays are coming and stuff. So I'm super excited. I love the holidays. I love everything about the holidays. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video at all, then please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. If you hit the notification bell, I'd even be more grateful and thankful. And please always remember to be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.